it's Gina and I'm back for another video on the YouTube. Now if you hear a little bit of noises, that's because my princess is here, baby Lexi. And today's video will not be on self-defense, it will not be a yoga flow. It's going to be more on the fitness aspect, but I'm not going to be sharing a workout with you guys. I want to talk to you guys about health and wellness and just living in a balanced world or a balanced life between and the other areas in your life. Now, I believe that when you think of fitness, 9 times out of 10, the first thing you're going to think about is your physical health, which that is part of the 9 realms of health and wellness. Now, of course, there are many different variations of health and wellness. You can have 7 realms, there's 10 realms. I don't know why I'm calling them realms. You can call them categories. Let's just call them categories. Realms sound a little mystical for us right now. And the categories I'm going to be talking about and the health and wellness that I define for myself have 9 categories. And back to what I was saying. Physical health is part of the 9 categories for health and wellness. You have to be physically fit if you want to be functional, if you want to be mobile, you want to have less diseases, less chance of injuries when you're older. Now, however, a lot of people solely focus on the physical side of health and wellness, and they neglect all the other 8 categories within their life. But they don't understand that living a healthy, balanced life considers trying to work together in all areas of life, not specifically and not solely on physical fitness. So let's talk about all 9 categories. We've already talked about physical fitness. Now let's talk about the second most popular one, which most people would probably say after saying the physical fitness, is mental fitness, mental health. And mental health is crucial. And making sure that you're mentally happy is more important, in my opinion, than being physically healthy. Because you can be physically healthy, but if you don't have the right mindset, you can see yourself as not good enough. You can see so many parts of you that is not considered perfect. You can always criticize yourself. There's a chance of self-sabotage and going into a negative way, a negative thinking towards fitness, and not being mentally happy with what's going on will translate in also other areas of your life. So mental health is very important, and in my opinion, more important than the physical health. Because like I said, you can be the thinnest, you can be the leanest, the shreddest person on the planet, but if you're not mentally happy, you will not see what other people see on how amazing that you look, and you will just think of yourself as, I'm not worthy of this body and I need to be better, which that is not a good mindset to be in if you're not using it towards, let's say, a bodybuilding goal where you could possibly be more shredder, have more defined shoulders, when there is a purpose for having that critical mindset towards yourself. And notice how I say critical, because this bodybuilding is a sport. You have to think critical and think of your body as maybe like a canvas, and where are you going to define and paint those areas that you're trying to work on, for a lack of better words, compared to someone who is just doing fitness to have fun, and then they start taking it a little bit too serious, then their mindset could start slowly degrading. Now, the third area that I want to talk about when it comes to fitness and health and wellness in general is your spiritual wellness. Now, a lot of people don't believe that spirituality is something that you need to prioritize in fitness, and I get that. If you're not a real spiritual person, I totally understand that. However, I do believe that there's just a little bit that needs to be looked at when it comes to fitness. Like, how are you trying to reground? How are you trying to connect with yourself? How are you trying to use a form of self-care towards yourself? That's the type of spirituality that I'm going to be talking about in this video. Now, of course, there are other spiritual religious realms that you can go into if that works for you. However, I want to talk about more of the self-care aspect and making sure that you're staying grounded and rooted to yourself and your beliefs and doing what is right for you. And so if you don't prioritize that, or if you don't align with what you preach and what you say is right, what you believe is right, then that can go downhill in the way that will probably look at your fitness. Let's say you're someone who doesn't believe in steroid usage and you believe it's unethical, and then next thing you know, you're in a bad mental state, and you're now using steroids to get bigger to help boost your confidence because you're mentally down spiraling. You see how all those three categories connected with each other? So that's why I believe it's important to take some time to take care of yourself on any level, no matter how you choose to go about it. Now, number 4 we can talk about is our environmental wellness. Now, environmental wellness can be seen as two things, two different ideas. You can talk about environmentally, like the earth itself. Okay, how are you taking care of your front yard and backyard? How are you taking care of your environment, like your trees? Are you recycling? Are you picking up the trash? Are you leaving trash? Are you somebody who throws your cigarette butt out of the window when you're driving? That can also be an effective thing to think about, because if you don't believe that the nature around you, if that's the type of person you are, then that can cause some frustration and annoyance. Now, environmental can also be seen as where you live specifically. Now, do you live in a place that's a little crowded? Like look at my room. My room is a little bit crowded compared to a lot of other rooms, in my opinion. And so making sure that you have a clean workspace, making sure that you feel comfortable where you live in. And even if you are in an area where you don't want to reside in forever, and this is not the goal you had in life, this could be the part that you can focus on and use it as motivation to get out of that area. Let's say you live somewhere that's a little bit more boring and you want to live in the city. We'll use that motivation to work hard, play hard, to get out of that boring town you live in and move into the city life that you believe is best suited for you. Now, of course, to get into that transition, you have to make sure, are you mentally ready to do that? Can you allow that environmental change work with your fitness goals or your body goals or your physical goals in general? And that's usually the environmental category, something that a lot of people don't really focus a lot on, and I can get that. But if you are in a clean, happy, well-lit space, then your mood, mental health can become better, and the other areas can become better as well. Now, category number 5 we can talk about is the financial wellness, financial health. And again, not a lot of people think about this because it's not something that's talked a lot about. It's not something that we're taught in grade school about how to do anything in the finance world, to be honest, especially in the high school I went to. I didn't learn a lot about finances until I got into college, or also because I learned about it in high school on my own. It was my own private goal study, whatever you want to call it. And financial health is crucial. If you are not financially stable, that can lead into a lot of downward spirals. Mental health can go down because now you're in debt, now you owe money, now you can't pay for this. Your physical health will take a back burner. You're not going to prioritize your physical life because you have other obligations that are more important. You might do something unethical. There goes your spiritual life. You might believe that stealing money from Starbucks' tip jar is unethical, but next thing you know, you see yourself doing it because you need money. And so that's why financial health is very important. It's better to learn young how to become financially literate so you don't go into financial struggles in the future that can be preventable. So taking the time to learn how to financially go about things. What is a 401k? How should I save money? How should I plan on buying a house? Stuff like that. Now, tip number 6 is your interpersonal skills. Now, how are you treating yourself? And how is that being reflected towards your friend groups? or not even friend groups, but the people you socialize with. So let's say that you think negative of yourself, there goes your mental health. And with your mental health going down and thinking negative of yourself, you are going to probably portray that to the people you are around. You're going to feel frustrated, you're going to feel small, you're going to feel annoyed, ungrateful. Maybe you don't feel like you're being heard. And so the way I like to look at it is the way you treat people is a reflection of how you treat yourself. And if you treat yourself in a positive, welcoming, warming way, totally understand, we're all human. We all have a down day every now and then. But if majority of the time you're a happy, free-spirited person, you're going to show those type of connections to the people that you hang around with, to the people that you are socializing with on possibly a day-to-day basis. And being nice and good to people you surround yourself with will boost your energy, which will then boost other categories of your life. So making sure that you're taking care of the people around you as well as taking care of yourself. Now, the next topic that we're going to talk about is the occupational category. And it's something that I never really thought about until I started researching and learning about health and wellness, is that the job that you're in can reflect on the other categories of your life. If you are working a low-end job that you are not happy about, that can translate into frustration and anger, and that can be led towards frustration and anger towards yourself, frustration and anger towards other people, frustration and anger towards the people you live with within your environment, towards your fitness, because you might be too upset with yourself and you don't want to prioritize fitness, or you could be using fitness as an outlet, using it as a way to help cope and learn that maybe where you're working at is not the desired place you want to be at, but you can use that again as motivation to move out of that place to work in the area that you believe is best suited for you. Now, however, if you are someone who loves your job, you live for your job is exactly what needs to be for you to be happy and successful, then you can see that positivity being shown in other areas of life because you're doing what you love. And if you do what you love, people will notice that and people will see, wow, look at that person strive, look at that person glow. So that's another thing to look at too, is how are you handling your occupational status? Are you enjoying where you're at? And if not, can you change it? Or are you enjoying it and being happy? Are there ways you can better yourself at the job? Now, I do understand that there are some people out there, they don't have the opportunity to be able to change their job at that moment. However, if that's you, then maybe try to focus on other areas of your life to help bring that frustration and anger out, maybe bring out that stress that's probably being cooked up inside of you, and just knowing that, okay, this is where I'm at right now. Maybe I can change it. Maybe I can't. We'll see. But at least I have other outlets and other areas of my life to focus on. And at least I'm thankful to have a job that provides me what it provides me. So that's another way to go about it for occupational wellness. Now, let's think about what we've just talked about so far. Physical wellness, mental health, environmental, spiritual, financial, interpersonal, occupational. And the eighth one that we have is culture and social. So what that means is, how are you learning more about different cultures? How are you learning about different social groups? Just being a more well-rounded person and understanding that there is more to life, there is more to this world you live in than the bubble that you have chosen to put yourself in. And you know what? It's nothing wrong being put into a bubble for the most part when it comes to making sure you are happy and healthy and making sure that you align with things that align best for you. For example, maybe you're someone who's not for alcoholic beverages. That's just something that you don't do in your little bubble that you have created for yourself, as you're not a drinker. However, you do know that some people like going out for drinks on a fun and social level. And so maybe understanding and respecting that, just as those people who are big fans of drinking will understand and respect your decision that you are not a drinker. So things like that. Maybe different ways to greet people. Maybe there's somebody who kisses each side of the cheek. Maybe there's someone who just shakes your hand. Just knowing that there's more out there to the world than what you live in and what you perceive, and that the world is a bigger place with a lot of different variety of people that you can learn from, and you can allow them to learn from you. Now, finally, the ninth and final category of health and wellness is the intellectual side. So that means the side to never stop learning. Possibly you can consider it the academic side if you're someone who does pursue higher education, as always trying to learn and always try to become a better version of yourself. You're not limited to the concept that what you know is enough, because it's not enough, and it's always good to know more in all areas of life, especially in the area that is your occupation. Let's say you are someone who is in the fitness world and you believe that you've gotten your bachelor's degree in kinesiology and that's all you need. You don't need to learn anything else. Well, right there, you're lacking in the intellectual category of health and wellness, and you're not going to progress, which if you're not going to progress in your learning, then your clients aren't going to do well, and then they're going to get mad at you, and that means your occupational wellness will go down. Your occupational wellness will go down, means your mental wellness will go down because you're frustrated and you're upset with yourself, which will then be shown to your interpersonal skills, your social skills, because the people you are residing with, the people you are hanging out with, are now going to feel that frustration and pain that's coping up inside of you, which then could lead to different aspects outside of the health and wellness journey. But see how I just was able to correlate intellectual to, I don't know how many categories I've just said, but a bunch of categories that I've just mentioned in this video. So it's good to always keep learning. It's good to at least learn one new thing a day. It won't hurt you. It won't kill you to have that extra knowledge. So thank you guys all for listening. I just wanted to talk about health and wellness today, and how health and wellness is not solely your physical fitness. There's more to living a well-balanced and cohesive life, to making sure that you are happy and healthy in all areas of life. There are always something that we can improve on. There's always something we can work towards. That doesn't technically have to be a physical goal. You can have an occupational goal, a financial goal, a mental goal, an interpersonal goal, an intellectual goal. The categories are technically endless, but it depends on what you feel like defines best for your lifestyle. Maybe you're someone who doesn't really focus a lot on the environmental side of it. That's fine, take it out, but at least you're focusing on everything else and making sure that your life is happy and healthy. Because that's the message I want to bring out there into the world, is that fitness is more than just your physique. It's more than just your appearance. It's who you are as an individual and how you're helping the people around you. And I also want to call out everything that's technically not correct in the fitness world, because a lot of people are being lied to. A lot of people aren't really understanding what's going on when it comes to different parts of the fitness world, and that's something I want to talk about too, and especially more on this channel. So thank you guys all for listening. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you take the time to probably work on one of the categories that I've mentioned in this video. If you liked what I have to say, I also have a health and wellness page on Instagram, a fitness page, whatever you want to call it, called @StuffGinaDoes. And I also talked about the 9 categories of health and wellness in 9, well, technically 10, because I had a summary post on my Instagram that you guys can read more about and learn and better yourself. Who doesn't want a little bit of bettering self-love? I'm always up for it. So again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for the love on this channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out, everyone. Make good choices and stay happy and healthy. Bye.